Are you finding yourself feeling disempowered, like stuck, a lack of self-esteem and confidence? Maybe your language is a little bit off and you're finding it a bit of a battle to feel good about yourself. Well, today I'm going to talk about the power of language on your self-esteem and confidence and what you can do about it. So I was talking to a client the other day, and she's awesome. All my clients are awesome because I select them. I don't work with everyone. I only work with those who are committed. So if you ever get on a call with me and you're like, I may or may not want to do this, don't talk to me because I only want people who are committed. Anyway, my clients are awesome because they're committed. And we were having this conversation, and they use a certain they were using. She was using a language. She'd made progress, and I said that's progress, and she used a disempowering word to describe her first effort, and I was like, no, that's progress. And when we started addressing that, you can see the shift in her energy, the change in language. Now, I like to coach out people and get them to use a more empowering word. But how many times have I been caught in my own life, it made me think, of not using the most empowering language or questions? And that's what I thought I'd really talk about today, because language is everything. It's always going into your system. So if you're saying things like, oh, it's going to be a hard day today, well, you're setting yourself up for a hard day, right? If you say, oh, I'm looking forward to today, then it's going to set you up for a much more flowing day. Now, of course, there may be a day where you've got a bunch of challenges. And therefore, you could use language like, well, it's a day where I'm really going to get to grow and push myself into a higher level of me from the opportunities. It's much better than like, oh, today's going to be shit, right? Completely different language, right? So become very conscious on the words you're saying, because we often are very unconscious of the words we're using because we use it again and again and again, but it's not always empowering, and our language often is picked up from those around us, and they may have picked it up from others that didn't feel so good about life. So when I speak positively and I use empowering words, I find there's a massive difference in how I'm feeling in the day. So that's what I really wanted to talk about today. Now, before we dive in further, I also wanted to mention again that I'm looking to work with 3 guys on one-on-one. So if you're a guy who's really committed again to his growth personally and or professionally, just message me the word growth on my social medias, jonnycpardoe, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. I'll leave them linked below. Just message me the word growth to see if you may be a fit for my one-to-one program that I'm only running very short term for 3 guys. Check it out. I'll link it below. And then we can have a chat to see if you're a fit. I'll personally message you back. So into this point about language, right? Language is king, absolutely king. Using the right language in your life everywhere. Now, ask yourself this. I'm going to give you some points around this. How does it help you when you go into your day and say like, oh, it's going to be hard. Oh, that person's really difficult. Oh, I screw up all the time. Probably doesn't make you feel so very good. And things like your identity, if you keep using disempowering words like I'm useless, I'm pathetic, you're going to act more in accordance with that. So describing yourself in a certain way is going to make you more believe it and act in certain ways. So therefore, start using more empowering words. Now, I'm going to give you a few tips, of course, as always. I've totally been guilty of being someone who's not used empowering language. And when you use powerful words, it does take some effort, but it's worth it, right? Anything takes effort. To rewire the brain, it takes effort, right? But I tell you what's going to be more exhausting, draining yourself with negative language. So let's go through some points for you now. The first thing is I want you to list some powerful words, some words you'd love to say that you would love to hear described about yourself. So someone's to say something amazing about you, and you, even if you find it hard taking in compliments, by the way, that's a tip, get better at receiving compliments. Because if you reject someone's compliments, on a side note to this point, then you're actually being disrespectful to the person who's just giving you a compliment. That is disrespectful. If you say, no, I'm not, you're telling someone they're lying, basically. So don't ever reject someone's compliment. Take them on board, right? That's a bit of tough love there, in case you're someone who's hard on taking compliments. So I was, and it used to offend the people who were giving me compliments, right? Anyway, Use powerful words. Like if someone's giving you a compliment, what would the powerful words you'd like to hear say? What would you like to hear about yourself? Maybe it's magnificent, wonderful, joyful, a miracle. That's a great word if you're called a miracle, right? Write down those words as much as possible. And then think about like, how can you put that more in your day? The second point is disempowering words. What are the disempowering words that do not make you feel so good? Like, become very conscious of those. As Jim Rohn says, be the guard to the door of your mind, because when you can do that, you become more protective of what's good and what's not so good for you. So, second, list the disempowering words and start catching them, because the more you become aware, the more you're able to catch them as well. Now, I want to go into a couple more points. I want to mention again, though, if that you're a man or you know a man who's looking to up-level himself, really up-level his growth in his personal and or professional life, then I am running a very short-term opportunity to work with me one-on-one for a crazy deal whereby I can personally work for you through your challenges. To see if you're a right fit, just message me the word growth to any of my social medias, jonnycpardoe, Facebook, Instagram, or LinkedIn. Cool. So the third point I want to share with you is start asking quality questions. Become very, very good at asking quality questions. I had to catch myself out for this, right? Asking yourself something like, what's going to go wrong today? How's that going to make you feel? You're probably going to look for all the things that are going to go wrong potentially. Like someone shouts at you, you get locked in traffic, you get disrespected, a volcano eruption happens in dramatic circumstances. All right, there's an earthquake. I don't know, right? Those are the kind of things that's going to be coming out of the answers. What about if you say, what can I really do to make the most out of my day and enjoy my time on earth? What quality question, right? I just made that up on the spot. So that's going to give you like, oh, I could give my best, but I could have fun giving my best, and I could speak to all the people that make me feel good. Better quality questions. And you have to become conscious of the questions you're asking yourself, because often we ask ourselves negative ones like, what's going to go wrong? Because our brain's wired for safety and keeping us alive, and it's very good. It's like if you're in the wild and you're like there's a load of wild animals in like the jungle or something, your brain's going, okay, what's around here? What dangers around here? That's very good questions. But in real life, we often not in life or death situations, but we start asking ourselves, if we don't train it, our brain will start asking us negative questions like, what does so and so think of me? What if I say this wrong? Instead of, what is amazing about me? What do I love about me? What am I grateful for? Better quality questions. So write down just a few quality questions that you can ask yourself each day. And then the fourth point goes a little bit back to my second and first point, but just catch your language. Anytime you say a word that's not so good, doesn't make you feel good, makes you feel disempowered, just catch it and then change it straight away. That will take a bit of work, but the more you do it, the more empowered you're going to feel. So that's what I got for you today on today's episode on language. So again, the points were creating powerful words, making sure you list out the disempowering words so you become conscious of them, start yourself with quality questions, and catch your language as you go through your day. So I appreciate you for being here, and remember to lead with your heart and not with fear.